Welcome to 9.3, Factoring a Polynomial, GCF, also known as a greatest common factor. So we've got your essential question and your vocabulary terms. Take a moment to read through those. And when you multiply two numbers or expressions, the two parts are called factors, and the result is called a product. Now, hopefully that is ringing some bells. You're remembering those terms from middle school or maybe even elementary school, and this shouldn't be anything new. But now what we're going to add is that polynomial component that you've never seen before. So for example, here we've got an a and an a to the fourth, and we've got to think about it. What could I multiply to a to make it equal to 3a to the fourth? So if I put a 1 there, just to remind myself, hopefully you remember I need to add my exponents to get that a to the fourth right here. So I would need 3 more a's being multiplied in order for that to work. So 3a to the first times a to the third would give me 3a to the fourth. In the next example, we've also got these numbers here. We didn't have to worry about the 3. We had started with a 3, ended with a 3, so we didn't need to worry about it in our factor. But in our next example, we've got this 8, and it somehow becomes a 32. So 8 is going to become 32. The factor there, we'd multiply 8 by 4 to get that 32. Next, we'd focus on these x's. Once again, that x is x to the first. So what times x to the first would give me x to the second? That would just be x. You could put a 1 there, but you certainly don't have to. Finally, we've got y squared, and we still have y squared here, so we don't need anything for the y. And that's my final answer. It's just going to be 4x. It would need a 4 and an x to get the answer that we see, the product that I see. And finally, we've got the same thing here. So I've got 12. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you guys try this one on your own. See if you can do it on your own, and then take a look at the final answer. So I've got that 12, like I was saying, and we've got this negative 72. And what times 12 would give me negative 72? Well, first off, I'd need a negative number, and it's going to be negative 6. Then I would take a look at this m squared and see that I've got m to the fourth, and so I will need another m squared. So 2 plus 2 would give me that 4. And finally, this is the tricky one, is that I've got this n squared. You have to kind of look at your product and make sure you're not missing anything. And notice I don't have any n here, so I actually need the n squared. So I'm going to put it there. Let me see if I have any questions so far, and then we're going to move on to finding greatest common factors. So when you're asked to factor a polynomial, you should always assume they're asking you to find the GCF, the greatest common factor, of all the polynomial terms and divide it out of the polynomial. So here's some tricks I'm going to give you to find your GCF. There's some easy ways to do this. The first step is to factor the smallest number. So if there's numbers involved, if there's coefficients, for example, the 25 and the 35. So these are two separate numbers. What you want to do is find the factors of the smaller number. The factors of 25 are 1, 5, and 25. Those are the only numbers that will divide evenly into 25. So those are your factors. And then which one of those factors divides evenly into 35? Well, the only one is 5. So that's the GCF of the numbers. And okay, so 5 is my numerical GCF. Now I want to focus on those variables. What we want to do is find the smallest degree. Even though there aren't numbers there, we know there's some ones there, ones above the x's and one above the y. Now, there is no y in this one, so y cannot be a factor because actually it would be y to the 0. There's 0 y's, so the smallest degree would be y to the 0. Y to the 0, it's just 1. We don't write it down. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that both of these values must have a variable. If they don't have a variable in common, then they don't have a GCF. So the common variable here is x to the first. Let me do a couple more, and I think it'll become a little bit clearer. We're going to start with the factors of 28, and there's quite a few of them. There's 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28 itself. So here's the thing is you might need a calculator sometimes if you're not really good with these, and you're going to check each one. Well, it turns out that 4 does go into 56. So does 7. 7 goes into 56 8 times. 14 also goes into 56. And it actually turns out that 28 goes into 56 2 times. So our GCF is actually the largest. Okay, so this is a weird way to say it. It's going to be the largest factor of 28 that also divides into 56. So my numerical GCF is 28. Now for my variables are a lot easier. So we're going to take a look at a squared and a to the 5th. Which one has the smaller degree? It's a squared. And then for b to the 7th and b to the 3rd, this is super easy. It is b to the 3rd, the smaller one. Okay. This will make a little more sense when we get into actual factoring, and you'll see why it's always the smallest degree variable. Now, the next one is tricky. First, I need to point out that these are divided by the comma. All right, so these are the two products. So there's two products here. All right, and we need to figure out, first off, let's take a look at those numbers. So we want the factors of 12. Since 12 is the smaller number, we're going to find out the factors of 12. So there's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 4 times 3, so then 6, and then 12 itself. Don't ever forget the number itself. And then what's the largest number there that would also divide into 28? And I think it's the 4. 6 doesn't go into 28. All right, so 4 is the largest number on that list that also divides into 28. So that means my numerical answer or numerical factor will be 4. Now, remember that what's going on right here is that these are all being multiplied. So products are anything being multiplied. That means that we want to look for those like multiples. Those two are my common factors. We're actually going to factor out that binomial. And that means my answer is y plus z. And please don't worry, we are going to practice in class a few of these together because I know that this is a tricky one.